Have you read this book, Franklin the Turtle by Paulette Bourgeois? Or have you read Scaredy Squirrel by Melina Watt? I am sure you may read one of them. Do you know where did you get this book from? Alright, let me share the magic of reading on this book. The Tiny Detectives by Cressida Cowell. Why do stars twinkle? Meet the tiny detectives. The tiny detectives are really little indeed. They are also very curious. That's why they live in a bookcase, because even the littlest people can find answers to big questions if they dive into a book, and that is exactly what the tiny detectives do best. One evening, Ollie wanted to put off going to bed, so he cleverly thought of a big question. Why do stars twinkle? He asked. Dad was already falling asleep, but a really good question always woke Dad up. This is a job for the tiny detectives, he said, opening his eyes. Let's find a book about space and quickly find out the answer. Maybe Bo and Beetle should stay here, Mom said with a frown. It is way past Bo's bedtime. I'm not sleepy, said Bo, who didn't want to miss anything. So the tiny detectives climbed up to the bookcase and opened a book called Space. Dad would the red story thread around his waist so they could get back out of the book at the end of the adventure. And they leaped right into the middle of a bright silver rocket covered in buttons and screens and levers and wires. But this rocket is still on the ground, grumbled Tega, very disappointed. We need to get closer to the stars to find out why they twinkle. This isn't much of any adventure, complained Ollie. You looked around while I have a little rest, yawned Dad. Dad was so tired that he fell asleep on top of a large red button. The rocket began to shake. Dad had found how to launch the rocket. Wake up, get off that button, cried Mom. But Dad carried on sleeping however loudly Mom shouted. And suddenly the adventure became very excited indeed as the tiny detective shot into the air. The rocket blasted upwards with a great whoosh. The tiny detectives all yelled in surprise as they were thrown back into their seats, apart from Dad, who just kept on sleeping. What's happening? Asked Bo. I think we're going to space, Ollie realized. Watch out, we're about to leave the Earth atmosphere, shouted Mom. This made things very bumpy indeed. Once they came out the other side, things got even more interesting as Bo made an exciting discovery. Look, the stars aren't just twinkling anymore, he said, pointing out of the window. So the stars don't actually twinkle, said Mom. It's just seeing them through the glass in the Earth's atmosphere that makes them look as if they are twinkling. The tiny detectives had found out the answer just in time. Beetle was rubbing his back legs together in alarm and pointed at least the red story thread. "Oh no," cried Bo. "Beetle says we're getting so far from the Earth that we're going to run out of story thread and then we'll never get back home." So Mom gave 3 big tugs on the red story thread that was still tied around sleeping Dad's waist, and the tiny detectives were pulled back through the gusty layers of the Earth's atmosphere and into the quiet darkness of the nighttime bookcase. They had to put Dad to bed in all his clothes, still asleep. "Bo can tell Dad why stars twinkle when Dad wakes up in the morning," said Mom. Dad missed Bo and Beetle. "Saving the whole world adventure," Tega said, whining. But then it was way past Dad's bedtime. Now it is the end of the story. And now, do you know why do stars twinkle? Now do you know where you get these books from? It's from McDonald's. Why does McDonald's give free books when you buy a Happy Meal? Books are the building blocks for a better future. For us kids, they help us use our imagination, expand our understanding of the world, and build up a good reading habit. The second reason that I think is to help protect the environment. Before we all got those plastic toys, we loved them, but now the paper of the books can be recycled. And McDonald's is happy to see you back again on a Happy Meal as you feel good after reading a book. What do you think about the free books from McDonald's? The more that you pay attention to the world around you, the better you are in investing. If you like this episode, please subscribe and like to our channel. Bye!